Leah Remini and Kevin James share one of the most natural and celebrated partnerships in television history. However, the genuine chemistry viewers witnessed on screen was underlaid by off-screen tensions that largely escaped public attention. Behind the laughter of the King of Queens lay real conflicts, significant pressure, and a controversial demand connected to the Church of Scientology, a demand that threatened to destroy everything between them. Yet the story did not end there. Years later, Remini made a startling confession that astonished fans. She revealed that working alongside Kevin James may have quietly undermined her future professional opportunities. For 9 seasons and 207 episodes, Remini and James portrayed one of the most believable married couples ever seen on television. Their rapport on The King of Queens appeared effortless, as though they had known each other for years before the cameras began rolling. Audiences laughed at their arguments and cheered for their reconciliations because the connection between them felt authentic. In reality, most fans never realized that this connection almost never came to be, and the reason why is closely tied to how they met, the clashes they endured, and the affection that somehow survived it all. Remini originally came in for a table read for The King of Queens, but a problem arose. She was already committed to another show at the time, and the scheduling simply did not work. She wanted the part, but could not accept it. Then something unexpected happened. Her other show was canceled, and that cancellation freed her to be cast as Carrie Heffernan. When she went in to meet Kevin, the very first thing he said to her was a joke about her unemployment, asking if he was interrupting her while she was busy collecting unemployment benefits. It was a bold and funny opening line, and Leah laughed within the first 2 seconds of meeting him. She later admitted that she did not even care what the script was because she loved this guy so much. She said yes to the role based entirely on his personality. From that point on, she was hooked. There was something indescribable in his eyes. Leah fell in love with Kevin, not romantically, but with the kind of love that makes working together effortless, the kind that makes you want to show up every day and help the other person shine. Throughout the show's run on CBS, Leah played Carrie Heffernan, the beleaguered wife of Kevin's character Doug. She was the sensible one who kept him in line, while he was the lovable slob who ate too much and watched too much television. Behind the scenes, both stars constantly feared the show's cancellation. Leah said that every time they came out for introductions to the live studio audience, they would tell each other that one day they would not be looking at those rafters. Leah has admitted that she and Kevin had intense arguments on set, but she explained that anyone who spends that much time together is going to fight. The reason they fought, she noted, was because they loved each other. She once pointed out that if you do not care about somebody, you do not even bother to fight with them. Despite the fights, Kevin was generous with Leah in ways that male leads rarely are. He consistently told writers to give Leah more material, more laughs, and the funnier lines. In Leah's memoir Troublemaker, Surviving Hollywood and Scientology, she wrote that Kevin always made scripts more comical and actively pushed writers to give her better material. Kevin did the opposite of what leading men often do, because he knew the show worked best when both of them were at the top of their game. When The King of Queens ended, it was Kevin's decision. His film career was taking off, and he did not want the show to trickle off with low ratings. Leah understood his position and, looking back, said he was right. But she also told BuzzFeed that she was still mourning that loss, saying she cannot really watch the reruns because she still feels the show in her bones. The partnership that had defined nearly a decade of her life was over. What came next for Leah was not another sitcom, but a very public break from an organization that had controlled her life since childhood. Before Leah Remini was a household name, she was a 9-year-old girl caught in the middle of her parents' divorce. Her mother, struggling with the collapse of the marriage, found solace in the Church of Scientology. She became deeply involved and soon brought Leah and her sister into the church as well. It was not a choice Leah made for herself. She was just a child who followed her mother. Shortly after the divorce, the family moved from New York to Florida, where her mother enrolled her and her sister into the Sea Org, the full-time religious order of the church. The Sea Org demands complete dedication, long hours, and strict obedience. As part of joining, Leah was required to sign a billion-year contract based on Scientology's belief in reincarnation. Leah remained inactive, practicing Scientologist for approximately 30 years, from age 9 until her departure in 2013. The church dictated who she could talk to, what she could read, and how she could think. For 3 decades, she followed the rules without question. But the questions eventually came, starting at a wedding. In 2006, Leah was invited to Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes' wedding. Church officials reportedly asked Leah to bring her famous friends Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony as her guests. The church's real agenda soon became clear. They allegedly wanted to recruit Jennifer Lopez. Officials reportedly attempted to separate Leah from Lopez throughout the event, having them travel in separate cars and limiting their interaction. Leah later claimed she watched as the church manipulated the guest list, the seating arrangements, and the social dynamics, all for the purpose of landing a celebrity recruit. David Miscavige, the head of the Church of Scientology, served as Tom Cruise's best man at the wedding, but attended without his wife, Shelley Miscavige. Leah found that strange, as Shelley had not been seen publicly for years. The combination of the Lopez manipulation and the absence of Shelley Miscavige struck Leah as unacceptable behavior. When Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes divorced several years later, those doubts resurfaced. Leah began reading online criticism of the church, something explicitly forbidden for active Scientologists. She read stories about families torn apart by church policies and allegations against top leaders, including David Miscavige. She was heartbroken to discover the organization she had dedicated her entire life to was not what she had been taught. She began asking about the practice of forcing members to disconnect from suppressive persons and about the whereabouts of Shelley Miscavige. Instead of answers, she received interrogation. Sources say Leah was subjected to official interrogations by church leadership for asking these questions. In 2013, Leah went public with her separation from the Church of Scientology, telling People magazine that she believed people should be able to question things and that she was not about to shut up. After leaving, she was declared a suppressive person, meaning all Scientologists must disconnect from her immediately. The people she had considered friends for decades were suddenly forbidden from speaking to her. She lost her community overnight. Paul Haggis, the Oscar-winning director of Crash, who had also been declared a suppressive person, came to her defense publicly. Leah fought back, co-hosting the series Scientology and the Aftermath with Mike Rinder, a former high-level church spokesperson. The show ran for 3 seasons, plus a 2-hour special, and won an Emmy Award. Leah told The Hollywood Reporter she thought 6 or 8 episodes would be enough for the FBI, local police, and the IRS to act. The church has denied all of her claims, but Leah has not backed down, writing a memoir, producing a docuseries, and speaking out repeatedly. Being a Scientologist in Hollywood came with expectations to recruit, and the more famous the target, the greater the pressure. For Leah, the most valuable target was Kevin James. The church wanted him badly, and for 9 years, they told Leah to bring him in. Church officials repeatedly demanded she recruit Kevin, asking why he was not in the church. Leah's consistent response was that he was Catholic and did not want anything to do with it. The pressure did not stop there. Officials wanted Leah to investigate Kevin's personal life to find exploitable vulnerabilities. Kevin was aware of Leah's affiliation and told her directly not to try to get him in with her Tom Cruise glare, making it clear he was not interested. Despite repeated orders, Leah says she never once attempted to convert Kevin, a moral stance that put her in direct opposition to the church's demands. Over the 9-year run of the King of Queens, she was told again and again to recruit him, and every single time she refused. Normally, such failure would result in ethics handlings, but the church eventually let it go because Leah was herself a valuable celebrity member. The church has denied Leah's claims and alleged she called Kevin a bully, a claim she vehemently denies. When Leah left Scientology in 2013, Kevin reached out and said he was proud of her and that if she needed anything, he was there. Leah has stated that Kevin James is among the very few celebrities left in her inner circle after her departure. The friendship survived Scientology, the pressure to recruit, and Leah's refusal to comply. But after the King of Queens ended, Leah discovered that working with Kevin had ruined her for everyone else. Their chemistry was so natural that no other co-star could measure up. In a June 2025 interview with Us Weekly, she said working with Kevin James ruined her for future projects, explaining that she loved working with him so much and that he was the perfect leading man for her. In her memoir, she wrote that despite working with other leading men, she has never found anyone who could compare favorably to Kevin, attributing their chemistry to a profound sense of safety. The proof of their chemistry was evident with Kevin Can Wait. Kevin starred as a retired police officer. In the first season, his character was married to Donna, played by Erin Hayes. The chemistry between James and Hayes was not electric. Leah made a cameo in the season 1 finale, and the reaction was immediate. The chemistry between Leah and Kevin was so strong that viewers could feel it through the screen. Between seasons, the show killed off Hayes' character off-screen, and Leah was brought on as a series regular for all 24 episodes of season 2. The decision was controversial, but for Leah, it was a second chance she never expected. She told the New York Daily News she would have taken any opportunity to work with Kevin again. Kevin Can Wait was canceled after season 2 ended in 2018. The challenge Leah has faced since The King of Queens is that every other leading man she works with is measured against Kevin James, and none have measured up. Their chemistry survived 2 television shows and the pressures of Hollywood. More than a decade after The King of Queens went off the air, their friendship remained strong. As of 2025, Leah confirmed they talk all the time. A full King of Queens reboot is unlikely due to Jerry Stiller, who played Arthur Spooner and passed away in 2020. Leah has said a reboot would be impossible without a meaningful way to honor him. There is no feud between Leah and Kevin, no hidden resentment. Both have stated that their 207-episode run created a bond neither has found with any other co-star. Leah chose her friendship with Kevin over the demands of her religion, and that decision contributed to her being declared a suppressive person. Kevin, in return, has remained one of her most consistent supporters. Their friendship is simply 2 people who worked together, fought together, laughed together, and decided what they had was worth holding on to. Leah Remini and Kevin James are not just former co-stars, but family, and that is the real story.